Donald Trump, should women go to prison or even receive the death penalty for trying to get an abortion? Darb over at Democratic Underground, makes a great suggestion. The problem is that, in the Democratic Party, there is a not insignificant anti-abortion wing. And that is part of the Democratic constituency. I mean, the Democratic Party is a big tent party. And I think most of the people in that anti-abortion wing of the Democratic Party are the more rational people who are opposed to abortion, but they're not like crazies like the Republicans. But in any case, that's the reason why this is not going to happen. But what he says is, why doesn't the Democratic Party come out and say it? The Republican Party wants to have a national database that monitors women's menstrual cycles. I mean, how the hell else can they enforce their ridiculous laws to control women? And he says the Democrats need to pound home this database. And also, what? Are the Republicans going to start monitoring Google searches for abortifacients? He says if you're truly against abortion, then you should be for trying to minimize the conditions under which a woman chooses to have an abortion. That would include things like family leave, which the Republicans oppose, free daycare, which the Republicans oppose, birth control access, which the Republicans oppose, sex education, the Republicans oppose, universal health care, the Republicans oppose, a living wage, the Republicans oppose, equal pay with men, the Republicans oppose, higher minimum wage, the Republicans oppose. And he or she, no, I guess it's a he. It's got a picture of a man anyway. You see, he says the Democratic Party is actually the party that is trying to limit abortions by making women's lives better. The Republicans want to put women in jail. And in fact, it's already happening. And this is I think Progress calls it a spoiler alert. Women are already being punished for having abortions. This is not just in the United States. It's happening all around the world. In one of the more conservative states in Mexico, there are dozens of women who have been sentenced to prison for miscarriage. In many cases, no evidence whatsoever that they tried to abort. They just had a miscarriage. And there are at least 17 women that they've documented now who are serving up to 30 years in prison for having had miscarriages. This is the logical endpoint of this. All right, this is where it goes. And for example, The Guardian, this was back on June 24th, 2011. The headline, Outcry in America as Pregnant Women Who Lose Babies Face Murder Charges. Keep in mind, this was 5 years ago. June 24, 2011, in The Guardian. Rennie Gibbs is accused of murder. She faces life in prison in Mississippi over the death of her unborn child. Gibbs became pregnant at age 15, lost the baby in December 2006 in a stillbirth when she was 36 weeks into the pregnancy. When prosecutors discovered that she had a cocaine habit, although there is no evidence that drug abuse had anything to do with the baby's death, they charged her with depraved heart murder of her child, which carries a mandatory life sentence. They note across the U.S. more and more prosecutions are being brought that seek to turn pregnant women into criminals. Bebe Schwa, 34, has spent the last 3 months in a prison cell in Indianapolis, charged with murdering her baby. On the 2 days before Christmas, she tried to commit suicide by taking rat poison after her boyfriend abandoned her. She was pregnant. She was rushed to the hospital, and she survived the suicide attempt, but her baby did not. The baby that she called Angel, the baby that she was mourning. And she was charged with murder. In Alabama, at least 40 cases have been brought against women for terminating pregnancies. Amanda Kimbrough, and I'm not talking about, late-term abortions or viable fetuses. Amanda Kimbrough is one of the women who've been ensnarled. Her baby was delivered by C-section prematurely in April 2008, died 19 minutes after birth. She was later arrested at home and charged with chemical endangerment of an unborn child, saying that she had taken drugs during her pregnancy. She says, no, I never took any drugs. She said, it shocked me. It really did. I had lost a child. Isn't that enough? She now awaits an appeal ruling from higher courts in Alabama, which if she loses, will see her begin a 10-year sentence behind bars. Amanda says, I'm just living one day at a time, looking out for my other 3 kids, my 3 other kids. They say I'm a criminal. How do I answer that? I'm a good mother. Christine Taylor in Iowa was arrested Last month, following an argument with her husband, Christine Taylor fell down a set of stairs in her home outside of Des Moines. Following the fall, she visited the emergency room. Police arrived, interrogated her, and she was arrested and jailed. Johnson, a mother of 2 children, says that she was emotional but denied to the Des Moines Register that she said to the police that she didn't want her baby. Now, keep in mind, she didn't even lose her child. She's in her 2nd trimester at the time of her arrest. Because somebody in the emergency room thought that she had intentionally thrown herself down the stairs in order to end her pregnancy, which she absolutely denies. I mean, when are we going to start the registry? You know, every woman in America, of the appropriate age has to register her menstrual cycles with the Republican Party. When's it going to start? Down in Mexico, geez. Well, I already told you about this. This is more than 40 women are on trial for having had abortions. This is another one. Indiana. This is Mike Pence country. 33-year-old woman. She's an Indian American, as in Indian. Purvi Patel is her name. She went into a Mishawaka, Indiana emergency room in July 2013, bleeding and seeking help. She helps run her family's restaurant, cares for her ailing parents and grandparents. She's the principal, breadwinner and home and keeper of the house. She eventually told healthcare workers that she had miscarried. She was bleeding. According to a sworn statement in support of the arrest, Patel sent text messages to a friend. So after she shows up at the hospital bleeding, they get her phone and they check out her text messages. She sent text messages to a friend indicating that she had obtained 2 drugs from Hong Kong to end her pregnancy. She had taken the drugs and they charged her. Now, and she had an abortion, right? And again, this was in her 1st trimester. But because she didn't go to an official abortion clinic and go through the song and dance that Mike Pence and all the Republicans in Indiana want women to go through, where you've got to go through the, and I don't know if it's a waiting period in Indiana or you've got to have a wand shoved up inside you for an ultrasound, whatever it may be. I mean, it varies from Republican state to Republican state. But they're prosecuting her for feticide, for killing, for, quote, ending, did knowingly terminate a human pregnancy, to wit, her own pregnancy, by ingesting medication. That's the phrase from the criminal indictment. Indiana's feticide law is now an abortion criminalization law that not only can be used to punish a woman who ends her pregnancy, but also can be used to punish a woman who even attempts to end her own pregnancy. In Tennessee, it's a woman who actually tried a bent metal coat hanger. There's no abortion clinic in her hometown of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. She's looking at jail. And in Texas, I got to tell you about Texas.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
And in Texas, according to a recent survey, somewhere between 100,000 and 240,000 women of reproductive age in Texas alone have tried to end their pregnancy entirely on their own with no medical assistance.
To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.